Good evening. Welcome to Unit 3, Introduction to Problem Solving. For this week, we'll be looking at how do we understand structured programming. So, understanding structure. What is structure? Structure is a basic unit of programming logic. Basically, structured code in programming is a programming method that provides clarity, quality, and development time of computer programs by utilizing subroutines, block structures, for and while loops. Structured program prevents spaghetti code. Structured code also follows rules that eliminate any problems caused by spaghetti code. What are the disadvantages of unstructured spaghetti code? Well, the logic is hard to follow. It produces too many lines of code for one simple statement or requirement. The code is confusing, it's prone to error, and it's difficult to reuse. And it's hard to use as a building block for larger applications. So what are the three basic structures? Well, the first one is sequence. A sequence structure performs an action or a task, then you perform the next action in order. The second basic structure is a selection or decision. You ask a question, depending on the answer, you take one or two courses of action. And then you have the loop. You continue to repeat actions while a condition remains the same. So using a primary input to structure a program, well, what is a primary input? Well, primary input is the statement that gets the first input value prior to starting a structured loop. Well, understanding the reason for structures, well, structuring programming provides clarity, smaller number doubling programs. As programs get bigger, they get more confusing if they are not structured. And the professional, all other programs expect your programs to be structured. Therefore, if you leave a program, you come back to you have another program that comes and wants to modify your code. If it's in a structured format, they can pretty much rewrite your code and fix your code. Also, efficiency. Newer programming languages support structure and uses syntax that lets you deal efficiently with sequence, selection, and looping. And it even supports other languages such as COBOL or RPG. How do we recognize structure? Well, you take a look at it. Does it have sequence and selection structures? Does it have loops? Does it have selection structures within the loops? In Unit 2, we chose a process. Some chose an example of fixing dinner when you come home from work. Was that process you chose structured or unstructured? If it was unstructured, how could you rewrite that process into a more structured manner? So take, for example, a washing a dog process in Chapter 3. We can clearly see that this is a very unstructured process. How could you make this process in a more structured manner? How could we wash a dog, process of washing a dog in a more structured manner? In summary, spaghetti code is a popular name for unstructured program statements that do not follow the rules of structured logic. Clearer programs can be structured using only three basic structures: sequence, selection, and loop. What is a priming input? Well, priming input is the statement that gets the first input value prior to starting a structured loop. The last step within the loop gets the next and all subsequent input values. This is just a brief overview of this week's lessons. We'll be looking at structured programming.